Good morning to all. I welcome you to Vignyan's Foundation for Science, Technology and Research. Myself, N. Bharat Kumar, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. In today's class, we are going to discuss about, or we are going to analyze the single phase AC circuits. So we know that there are three basic elements. The first one is the resistor, second one inductor, and third one capacitor. So first one is R, L, C. So these are the three basic elements of an electrical circuit. In the first unit, we discussed or we analyzed the circuits which involves only the resistor. Now here, in case of the single phase AC supply, we are going to include these two elements also, L and C. So coming to the single phase AC circuits, before further going into the concept, I am going to give you a brief introduction about some terminology or some concepts that are very much essential or helpful to understand the single phase AC circuits. We know that a single phase voltage is going to be represented by means of a sinusoidal quantity. We already know that a single phase AC supply is going to be represented by means of a sinusoidal. In this expression, this Vm is going to be called as maximum value, and this theta is called as phase. This theta value is going to be related to time as omega into t, where this theta is called as angular displacement and omega is called as angular velocity. And this angular velocity is going to be represented mathematically as 2 pi by t, where this t is called as the time period, or we can call it as 2 pi f, because the time period is inversely related to the frequency. So the omega is equals to 2 pi f. So these are the quantities that are there in single phase circuits. We already discussed about this. Now for the sake of understanding the single phase AC circuit, we are going to represent this sinusoidal term in phasor notation. In phasor notation. So what is phasor notation? What is a phasor? Phasor is nothing but a rotating vector. It is a rotating vector. So this phasor will give the instantaneous values. Or in other way we can say that the instantaneous values of this sinusoidal waveform can be determined by means of this phasor, which is also called as a rotating vector. How will you represent this sinusoidal quantity in phasor? Let's see that. We know that the sinusoidal quantity, the instantaneous values of the sinusoidal quantities are going to be represented by using a rotating phasor. If you see the diagram carefully, so the rotating vector, in the diagram, the rotating vector is given as OA. When the vector is rotating from 0 degrees in anticlockwise direction, the tip of the vector will always give the instantaneous values of the sinusoidal quantity. For example, if we consider V of t as the instantaneous voltage, and this voltage expression is going to be represented as Vm sin theta. Here in this expression, we know that this Vm is the maximum value of the alternating quantity. Vm is the maximum value of the sinusoidal quantity. And what about this theta? This theta is the phase. That's what I told you earlier. This Vm represents the maximum value and theta is the phase. And what about this V of t? V of t is the instantaneous value. Instantaneous value of the sinusoidal quantity. This instantaneous value can be obtained by means of the rotating vector. If you see the diagram, when the vector OA is at 0 degrees, then we are going to say that theta is equal to 0. When theta equal to 0, what is the instantaneous value of the voltage V of t? Vm sin 0. When theta is equal to 60 degrees, what is the instantaneous value of voltage? V of t is Vm sin 60. or if you see, always the magnitude of the vector is constant Vm, but its value depends upon the phase, the position of the vector. When it is at 0 degrees, the magnitude becomes 0. When it is 60 degrees, the instantaneous value is going to be Vm root 3 by 2. Like that. That means the position of the vector is going to decide the instantaneous value of the alternating quantity. That's what we have already learned. Now let us try to represent this sinusoidal quantity by means of this rotating phasor. So we know that a complex number can be represented by using two values. One is the real part and another one is the imaginary part. So a complex number Z contains two values, A plus IB. Here A is the real value and B is the imaginary value. And what about this I? I is the imaginary number. In case of basic electrical and electronics engineering course, as we already dedicated this symbol I for current, we are going to use to represent the imaginary number as J. We are going to use the symbol J to represent the imaginary number. So if you want to represent this Z, you are going to consider the point as A, B, where this x-axis is the real axis and y-axis is the imaginary axis. Now, if I want to represent this A plus JB by means of a vector, how will you represent it? So a vector can have a magnitude and it can have a phase angle theta with respect to the real axis. I am going to assume that this vector is having a magnitude of r and it makes an angle theta. Why I am going to choose this vector? Because if you see the diagram, the vector OA is going to be used to represent the instantaneous value of the alternating quantity. So when you rotate the vector, the position of the vector always gives the instantaneous value. I have considered that in the diagram the position is at 60 degrees, the vector is at 60 degrees. Now when you take the component of vector along vertical axis, what is its value? Its value is Vm sin theta. That's what I told you. Its value is Vm sin theta. The vertical component of the rotating vector along imaginary axis will always gives the instantaneous value Vm sin theta. Okay, if it is Vm sin theta, vertical component, what is the horizontal component? It will obviously Vm cos theta, because here the angle is 90 degrees. If it is theta, then the remaining angle is 90 minus theta. So one component, if it is Vm sin theta, the other component must obviously be Vm sin theta. Now what is this Vm sin theta? That is nothing but B, because I have considered the point A as A, B. In case of rectangular coordinates, the magnitudes are A and B. So that means the length of this vertical component is B and the length of the horizontal component is A. Now how will you find out this length of the vector? If it is A and it is B, obviously R is root of A square plus B square. And how will you find out theta? By using tan theta expression. Tan theta is nothing but opposite side by adjacent side, B by A. So by using these two relation, we can convert a rectangular coordinate or a rectangular point into a polar coordinates. So we can convert a rectangular coordinates into polar coordinates. So these two relations are going to be used to represent a sinusoidal quantity using phasor notation. So here R is the magnitude and theta is the angle, which we are going to call it as phase. Now coming to this expression, what is the magnitude here? Vm is the magnitude and theta is the phase. So the same expression can be represented in phasor form as Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. We are going to represent Vm sin theta as Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. So why 0 degrees? Because why I have considered 0 degrees? Because if you observe the sinusoidal waveform Vm sin theta always starts at 0 degrees. That's why the reference vector, the reference angle, the phase angle for Vm sin theta is always 0 degrees. Okay. The same expression can be written as Vm sin theta minus 0 degrees. So this theta is a variable and this 0 degrees is the phase where the voltage, the instantaneous value is going to start. So the Vm is the magnitude. Therefore V of t is equal to Vm sin theta, can be represented in phasor notation as Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. For example, if I have Vm sin theta minus 90 degrees. So for example, I am having V of t as Vm sin theta minus 90. How will you represent this sinusoidal expression in phasor form? What is the magnitude here? Magnitude is Vm. And what about the phase angle? 90 degrees. So this is how we are going to represent a sinusoidal quantity in terms of phasor quantity. And remember that this Vm sin theta is the vertical component, which is nothing but B. So B is a imaginary value. And what about A? A is the real value. So a sinusoidal quantity can be represented as Vm cos theta plus J into Vm sin theta. So this is the representation of a sinusoidal quantity in using complex number. That's all about the phasor notation. Now we are going to discuss about the behavior of resistor in an AC circuit. So for understanding this, I am going to consider a circuit here. In this circuit, a resistor R is connected to a single phase AC voltage source V of t. And I am going to assume that the source is going to produce a current of I of t. Now what is the relation between these three? So let us assume that V of t is equals to Vm sin theta. Now how you are going to get the expression for current? So we already know from Ohm's law, I is equals to V by R. Now what is V here? Vm sin theta. So Vm sin theta divided by R. Now here Vm is the magnitude and R is also a constant. So separate the constant terms. Then we are going to get Vm by R into sin theta. Now what is this? This is the voltage and R is the resistance. What is Vm by R? It is a current. So I am going to assume that Im is equals to Vm by R, because Vm is the maximum value of the sinusoidal voltage quantity. Then when you divide this maximum value of voltage with respect to resistance, then you will get the maximum value of current. For that reason, I have assumed Im is equals to Vm by R. Now in this expression, replace this Vm by R with Im. Then what is the expression finally? Im sin theta. So I is equals to Im sin theta. A voltage Vm sin theta, we are going to get the current as Im sin theta. So when we apply a voltage V of t is equals to Vm sin theta, we are going to get a current I of t is Im sin theta. Now how will you represent Vm sin theta graphically? So we already know that the sin theta will always starts from 0 degrees and this is Vm. So this is the voltage waveform. So the magnitude is here Vm and the angle is 180 degrees here and this is 360. So this is how we are going to represent Vm sin theta. Now how will you represent this current? When you want to draw the graph, always you have to make sure the phase and magnitude should be represented. What is the magnitude here? Im. Whether Im is greater than or less than Vm. You know the expression for Im is Vm by R. We are dividing the magnitude Vm with respect to R. That means obviously the current will be less than the voltage. But here theta. And what is the phase angle in voltage? Both are sin theta only. That means the both waveform starts at the same point. So current will also starts at 0 degrees. It reaches maximum at 90 degrees and becomes 0 at 180 degrees and then becomes negative maximum at same 270 degrees and again becomes 0 at 360 degrees. So this is the current waveform. So if you observe the voltage and current waveforms, This is V of t and this is I of t. Both the voltages starts at 0 degrees, reaches positive maximum at 90 degrees, again becomes 0 at 180 degrees and reaches negative maximum at 270 degrees and finally again reaches at 360 degrees. So we are going to call it as in phase. Both are in phase because both are starting at 0, reaching maximum at the same point, again become 0 at the same point, like that. So it's going on repeating. That's why this voltage waveform and current waveform are said to be in phase. So in case of a resistor, the voltage and current are in phase. So what is the phase difference? Is there any phase difference here? There is no phase difference. Here it is also theta, here it is also theta. That means the phase difference is 0 degrees. In phase means the phase difference between the two quantities is always 0 degrees. The voltage and current, if you both starts at 0 degrees. So what is the difference, phase difference? 0. If you consider at any point, the phase difference is always 0 degrees. So in case of a pure resistor, when you apply a voltage, the current through the resistor is always in phase with respect to the voltage. So that's how the current is going to be flowing in a resistor when you apply a single phase AC source. Let us discuss this point once again. So I have considered a voltage source V of t is equal to Vm sin theta. In phasor notation, we are going to represent that one as Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. Always remember that Vm sin omega t will always starts at 0 degrees. That's why in phasor notation we are going to represent Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. Here omega t is nothing but theta and omega is 2 pi by t or 2 pi f. Now how will you calculate the current? When you apply AC voltage source across a resistor, then the current, whatever the current that is flowing through the resistor will also vary sinusoidally. So when you apply a AC sinusoidal voltage across a resistor, the current through it also varies sinusoidally. The current obtained is always in phase. You have just derived that. Okay. So when you apply, how will you calculate I of t here? V of t by R. V of t is given as Vm sin omega t by divided by R, and we have represented this one as Im sin omega t. Now in phasor notation, since it is sin omega t only, Im will be at an angle of 0 degrees. Now these two expressions, the voltage expression and current expression, can be represented using waveform notation like this. So Vm sin omega t is nothing but Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. So that means the waveform will start at 0 degrees and it will go for one cycle. Now if you take the current waveform is also same, only the magnitude is different. Here the magnitude is Vm, but here the magnitude is Im. So when you take the current waveform here, the current waveform starts at 0 degrees, reaches maximum at the same point where the voltage reaches maximum value, and it follows the voltage waveform. So what is the difference between these two waveforms? Only the magnitude. The magnitude is the difference. So we are going to say the voltage and current are in phase in a pure resistor circuit, or the phase difference between voltage and current is 0 degrees. Okay. Now let us represent this waveform diagram in phasor notation. So the phasor notation is a new thing because you know how to draw waveforms by using the expressions, but how will you represent using a phasor diagram? So this is the waveform representation or graphical representation. Now let us try to represent these two equations in phasor notation. So in phasor notation, always remember that phasor is nothing but a rotating vector. The rotating vector can rotate either in anti-clockwise direction or in clockwise direction. And we already know that if a vector is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, how we are going to choose? This one obviously 0 degrees. What about this? 90, 180, 270, 360. That means when you are rotating in anti-clockwise direction, the angles, the axes are positive values. So when you rotate from anti-clockwise, after 0 you are going to get plus 90, then plus 180, plus 270, plus 360. But if you rotate in clockwise, what is this axis? After 0 degrees, when you rotate in clockwise direction, this is a minus 90. Then you are going to get minus 180. Then minus 270 and minus 360. Minus 360 are 0 degrees. So Please remember that. When you rotate in anti-clockwise direction, you are going to choose the angle as positive. When you are rotating in clockwise direction, you are going to choose the angle as negative. So here, in case of resistor, we got the voltage expression as V 0 degrees. How will you represent this as phasor? Phasor contains two coordinates. One is magnitude, another one is phase angle. So what is the magnitude here? The magnitude is Vm and the theta is 0 degrees. So this vector, this phasor contains two coordinates. One is magnitude, another one is phase angle. In case of this sinusoidal waveform, we have considered the magnitude is Vm and the phase angle is 0 degrees. 0 degrees means along x-axis. And how will you represent that vector? Like this. So this is the magnitude. The length of the vector represents magnitude. Since the angle is 0 degrees, we have represented along x-axis. Now, how will you represent current? The current expression we got in a resistor is Im at an angle of 0 degrees. Since it is 0 degrees, it will always lies along the x-axis only. But the magnitude is less than the voltage. That's why Im, the length of the vector Im is small compared to the it lies along the same x-axis. If you observe the phase difference, both lies on the 0 degrees axis only. That's why the phase difference is always 0. So this is called phasor representation, or we are going to call it as phasor diagram. Okay, by means of a rotating vector, we are going to use to represent phasor notation or phasor diagram. Okay, that's how the resistor is going to be function in an AC circuit. Let us discuss about the inductor. How an inductor behave in an AC circuit. So I am going to consider an inductor here L. I apply the same voltage V of t and a current I of t is flowing through the circuit. Now I will assume that V of t is equals to Vm sin omega t. In phasor, you know that it is always represented at Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. Now what is our objective? We have to calculate through the inductor. And how will you calculate the current? You know that inductor opposes sudden changes in current. Inductor is a energy storage element. It stores energy in the form of magnetic field. So what is the relation between V of t, L and I of t? We already know that V of t is equals to L into di by dt. So voltage across an inductor V is equals to L into di by dt. Why we have considered di by dt? Because the inductor opposes sudden changes in current. That's why we have taken the change of current with respect to time. The current varies gradually in case of an inductor. So this is the relation. So from that relation, how will you calculate current? So di of t by dt. What is di of t by dt from that expression? V of t divided by L. Now what is di of t? V of t L into dt. Now if you integrate on both sides, integrate on both sides. So when you integrate on both sides, so integral of di of t is equals to integral of V of t by L into dt. So this integral and differentiation cancel out. Therefore I of t is equals to integral of, what is V of t? V of t is Vm sin omega t. Replace that. So Vm sin omega t divided by L dt. In this expression, what is the variable? T is the variable. So only sin omega t is the variable quantity. What about Vm and L? These two are the constants. So take out of the integral. That is equals to Vm by L integral of sin omega t dt. Vm by L integral of sin omega t dt. When you integrate sin omega t, the answer will be minus cos omega t. Since we are integrating with respect to time, omega is a constant. So divided by omega. So integral of sin omega t dt is minus cos omega t by omega. Now I have rearranged the terms here. Vm by omega L into minus cos omega t. So final expression for current is I of t is equals to Vm by omega L into minus cos omega t. But the voltage expression is in terms of sinusoidal quantity. And I already told you that the current or voltage we are going to represent by using sinusoids. But here in this expression we are having a cos term. So how will you convert minus cos theta into sin theta? So the requirement is I have to convert this minus cos omega t into sin theta. How will you convert? It's very simple. Vm by omega L into, just keep minus as it is. So cos theta can be represented by using sin theta as sin of 90 minus omega t. So sin of 90 minus theta, sin 90 minus theta is cos theta. That's why I have represented cos omega t as sin of 90 minus omega t. Now if you take minus sign into the sin term, we are going to get Vm by omega L into sin of omega t minus 90 degrees. So when you take the minus sign into the sin, Vm by omega L into sin of omega t minus 90 degrees. This is how we are going to calculate the current. Now in this expression, I am going to assume that let the maximum, since this is the maximum value, Vm value, then the coefficient obtained in the current is also be considered as the maximum value of the current. So let Im is equals to Vm by omega into L. Then finally the expression for current I of t is Im sin omega t minus 90 degrees. So this is the final expression for current. So when you have considered the voltage, what is the first step you have considered? We have applied a sinusoidal voltage across an inductor. In case of inductor, the relation between voltage, current and inductance is already we know V of t is equal to L di by dt. From this expression, we have calculated the current, and obtained current is I of t is Im sin omega t minus 90. Now let us draw the graphical representation of these two voltages, these two expressions, voltage and current. So we have considered V of t as Vm sin, and the obtained current expression is I of t is Im sin omega t minus 90 degrees. So how will you represent this voltage waveform? That we already know. It starts at 0 degrees. So this is the expression for voltage. So this is pi and 2 pi. So this is the voltage waveform, so voltage sinusoidal wave. Now if you observe the current waveform, there is a phase difference here. Here in the voltage expression we are having only sin omega t, but in current expression we are having a phase difference of minus 90. Minus indicates that after voltage waveform starts at 0 degrees, then the current waveform has to start. The current waveform starts after 90 degrees from the voltage waveform. So after 90 degrees means at its maximum, this is the 90 degrees. So the current waveform starts here and it will go sin like this. The magnitude of the current is, I am going to assume it as Im. So if you see here, there is a phase difference of 90 degrees between voltage and current. So the minus indicates that the current is behind the voltage. Minus means behind, plus means ahead. So the minus sign indicates that the current is behind the voltage. In our electrical terms, we are going to say that the current is lagging the voltage. Or in other way, we can say that the voltage is ahead or voltage is leading the current. So in the two ways you can express. So here the current in an inductor lags voltage, or the voltage in an inductor leads current. So these are the two ways of expressing the phase difference between voltage and current in inductor. So this is in case of inductor only. Now what is the phase difference here? 90 degrees lagging. Please keep that in mind. Current and voltage waveforms are out of phase. So by means of this we can say that both current and voltage are out of phase. So that's how you are going to represent the waveform. Now how will you represent the phasor diagram? So V of t is equals to Vm sin omega t. So this sin omega t can be represented in phasor form as Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. Okay. And what is the obtained current? I of t is Im sin omega t minus 90 degrees. So this can be represented in phasor form as Vm at an angle of minus 90 degrees. Now how will you represent these expressions in phasor diagram? So the first one, the voltage is along 0 degrees, along x-axis. So 0 degrees means this is the 0 degrees. And the length of the vector is called Vm, the magnitude of the vector. Now what about the current? Current has been rotated by minus 90 degrees. So minus 90 means, that means the vector is at 0, the voltage vector is at 0 degrees, but the current vector has rotated. It is not at 0 degrees. But how much angle is rotated? By 90 degrees, by minus 90 degrees. Minus indicates that it is rotating in clockwise. Already told you that plus indicates anti-clockwise, minus indicates clockwise. Since we got minus 90, the vector has been rotated by 90 degrees clockwise. So like this. So this is the magnitude of Im. So the length of this vector is called Im. And finally we are going to call this one as the phasor diagram. So voltage will be along 0 degrees, current will be along minus 90 degrees. The phase difference between both is 90 degrees. So I think you are very much clear about the inductor in an AC circuit. So here I have considered a voltage V of t is equal to Vm sin omega t. In phasor notation I have considered a Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. And we know that the voltage across an inductor will vary with respect to time. With respect to time. So that expression is given as di by dt is equal to V of t by L into dt. When you integrate this on both sides, so V of t is equal to L into di by dt, that can be written as di of t is equal to V by t L into dt. When you integrate on both sides, we are going to get these expressions. So this is the mathematical derivation, just I explained you. So in place of V of t I have substituted Vm sin omega t. Then I have taken out the constant term Vm out of the integral. Finally I have integrated this sin omega t, which is nothing but minus cos omega t by omega. And I have rearranged the terms. This minus cos omega t I have written in terms of sin as omega t minus 90 degrees. And in this expression we have considered Vm by omega L as Im. And graphically, so we represented the voltage waveform like this. It starts from 0 degrees. But what about the current? So current will lag the voltage. That means after the voltage the current will start. So at what value? At 90 degrees. So the current waveform will start at 90 degrees after the voltage waveform, and it will go on. Only the difference between these two is the magnitude varies, as well as there is phase difference also in case of an inductor. So this in words we can express as the voltage and current are out of phase. They are not in phase. When both the waveform starts at 0 degrees, they are going to be called as in phase. That happens in resistor. But in case one waveform starts at 0 degrees, other waveform starts at 90 degrees. That's why these two are going to be called as out of phase. So technically we are going to say the current lags voltage by 90 degrees, or the voltage leads current by 90 degrees. In phasor notation also, so the voltage will be along x-axis, and the current is going to be represented as minus 90. That means it has rotated in clockwise direction by 90 degrees. So the waveform is going to be indicated along minus 90 degrees. So this is the phasor diagram. That's all about inductor. When you apply here also, the voltage, same voltage V of t is equals to Vm sin omega t. Now how will you calculate this current through the capacitor? So what is the relation here between current, voltage and capacitance? So we know that I of t is equals to C into dV by dt, because in case of capacitor the voltage doesn't changes suddenly. So capacitor doesn't allow sudden changes in voltage. Inductor doesn't allow sudden changes in current. So that means the current through the inductor is capacitor is always equal to C into change of voltage with respect to time. So how will you calculate current? The current through the capacitor is calculated by using the expression C into dV by dt. Now what is V of t here? Vm sin omega t. So C into d by dt. In place of V of t, write Vm sin omega t. So here the variable is time. What about this Vm? Vm is the constant. So take out of the differentiation. C into Vm into d by dt of sin omega t. So what is differentiation of sin theta? Cos theta. C into Vm into cos omega t. But omega is a constant, so we are going to multiply this omega. You know, if you rearrange the terms, omega into C into Vm into cos omega. But I already told you that we have to represent in sinusoidal terms. Either voltage or current has to be represented in sinusoidals only. So convert this cos into sin. So omega C into Vm into, so sin 90 plus theta. So sin 90 plus theta is nothing but cos theta. So this is the final expression for current. And what is this omega C into Vm? That is the maximum value of current. So let Im is equals to omega C into Vm. Therefore the current expression can be finally represented as Im sin omega t plus 90 degrees. So this is the final expression of current we have obtained. So I think this is a very simple derivation. Here differentiation is involved. In case of inductor, integration is involved. So current through the capacitor is C into dV by dt. In place of V of t, we have Vmt. Then we have done some simple mathematics to obtain the current through the capacitor. Now let us represent this voltage expression or current expression in graphical notation. So this is the voltage waveform. So voltage waveform V of t is nothing but Vm sin omega t. So Vm sin omega t will always starts at 0 degrees and its magnitude is Vm. So this is V of t. What about the current? So the obtained current through the capacitor from this expression is I of t is equals to Im sin omega t plus 90 degrees. What is this plus indicates? Plus indicates that the current is ahead of voltage. In this expression the plus indicates, that the current is ahead of voltage. That means the current started before voltage. By how much angle? 90 degrees. So before 0 degrees means it has to start at minus 90. Before 0 degrees means minus values 1. So the current started at minus 90 degrees and it has reaches maximum value at 0 degrees. So this is the maximum value Im. Okay. So this is the current through the capacitor. So by seeing this waveform, you can clearly say that the current is ahead of the voltage or the voltage is behind the current. So in our electrical terms, how you are going to say? Current is leading the voltage or voltage is lagging the current. So in case of capacitor, current leads voltage or voltage lags current. So this is in case of capacitor. Please keep in mind that here also both voltage and current are out of phase because they have not started at the same point, unlike resistor. That's why we are going to say that voltage and current are out of phase. That's all about the waveform in case of a capacitor. Now how will you represent in phasor notation? So V of t in phasor can be represented as Vm at an angle of 0 degrees. And what about I of t? Im at an angle of plus 90 degrees. Now how will you represent V of t along x-axis? 0 degrees means along x-axis, and this is the magnitude. So plus 90 means the vector has to rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So from this it has to rotate 90 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. So then the current must be always in upward direction. In case of inductor it is in downward direction. In case of capacitor it is upward rotation. So this is the phasor diagram. I think now you are very much clear about this capacitor also. So what we have considered? So we have considered that voltage, sinusoidal voltage applied across the capacitor, and current through the capacitor is calculated by using this notation. Already we know about the relation between current, voltage and capacitance. In place of V of t we have substituted Vm sin omega t, and we have done some simple mathematics derivation like this. So in place of V of t we have substituted Vm sin omega t, then we have taken out of the constant out of the differentiation because the variable is time. Then the differentiation of sin omega t is nothing but omega cos omega t. Then the cos omega t has represented as sin omega t plus 90 degrees. And finally we have considered this value as maximum value of the current Im, and obtain the final expression as Im sin omega t plus 90. And we have drawn the waveforms, so graphical representation. So the voltage waveform always starts at 0 degrees, but in case of capacitor we know that the capacitor, the current through the capacitor always leads. That's why it always starts at before the voltage at minus 90 degrees and continues. So the phase difference between voltage and current is 90 degrees, and the magnitude is Im here. So that's why in case of capacitor, current leads voltage or voltage lags current. So this is all about the capacitor in an AC circuit. And coming to the phasor notation, so along 0 degrees, because the considered voltage is Vm sin omega t, so it will always be along x-axis, 0 degrees axis. But what about the current? Current is Im at an angle of plus 90. Plus 90 means it has to rotate in counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So the Im vector will be along positive y-axis. So this is the phasor diagram of a pure capacitor when you apply AC voltage. So let us summarize here. If you consider a resistor, in case of resistor, voltage and current are in phase. That means the phase difference is 0 degrees. In case of a resistor, the voltage and current are in phase, or the phase difference is 0 degrees. When you consider an inductor, in case of inductor, voltage and current are out of phase. So here the current lags voltage by 90 degrees, or voltage leads current by 90 degrees. So this is how the current and voltage are related in case of an inductor. And if you take finally the capacitor, in case of capacitor, the voltage and current are out of phase here also. So what is the phase difference? Here the current leads voltage by 90 degrees. In other way we can say voltage lags current by 90 degrees. So this is the relation between voltage and current in case of a capacitor.